welcome to Late Night Latin America with me, your host, Christian Bravo. Today we're going to be talking about the importance of Latin American history in your community and your surrounding environments. My first guest is a student from the prestigious University Cal State Los Angeles. Let's give him a big hand, Abraham Popeye Medina. Let's go.
Pretty woman, walking down the street, pretty woman, the kind I like to meet, pretty woman. I don't believe you're not the
To my
truth.
knowledge, you're still a student at Cal State LA, is that correct? Is that safe to say?
Yeah, it's safe to say.
All right. I also know that you took a Latin American studies class. How was that? Describe it to the folks here.
Oh, well, I thought the class was very informative.
Informative. That's good. I want you to share some of that information that you learned in that class. I want you to spur it out to the minds of these guests here tonight. Is that all right with you?
Yeah.
Do that?
Fine. Well, the class was, like I said, very informative. I learned a lot about not only history, but Latin American history. I learned a lot about my culture and a lot of stuff that I didn't know happened in the past.
That's great. Well, it says here that you were born in Boyle Heights. Is that correct? Is that true?
Yeah, that's correct to say. It's a small town east of downtown Los Angeles.
Yeah, I've been there. I've been to a place called El Mercadito. That's a popular place.
Oh, yeah, it's a very popular place.
Well, I got some of the camera guys, and we went around your neighborhood and saw these murals that were painted on walls and along the streets. And I was wondering if you can describe to the people around here what exactly those murals represent and what it is you can take from them when you look at it. Since you took that Latin American Studies class, right?
Yeah.
At 150, in case you guys are students out there, Latin American 150 with Dr. Lee. Good class from what I hear. All right, well let's roll clip.
They came with crosses with their Lord on them. They said they came in peace, but we knew what they really wanted. They wanted our gold. They wanted our land. But most of all, they wanted our hearts. So we fought. We fought to the death. But may our people remember the blood that was spilled for their future.
So what is that you can take away from the images we just seen right now?
Well, the image reminds me a lot of when the Europeans invaded the Aztec land, which was Tenochtitlan. Tenochtitlan was like an island. This also reminds me of the mestizaje.
Can you explain or further expand on that mestizaje?
Oh,
What is that exactly?
Well, the mestizaje was when the Europeans forced not only their language on the indigenous people, but their religion. This reminds me a lot about this book I read in my Latin American Studies class called Born in Blood and Fire by John Charles Chastain.
And we have that book for everybody in the audience tonight. You're going to be leaving the building with a free copy. So here you go. Explain to us what exactly it is you want to...
Well, in this chapter, Colonel Crucible, it says, over hundreds of years, most Latin Americans began to sincerely accept Catholicism and the rule of a Spanish or Portuguese king. Thus, more than merely ruled by outsiders, colonization was a social and cultural, even a psychological process. The resulting patterns of domination, intricate and omnipresent, constitute the saddest product of the colonial crucible.
So what exactly does all of that mean?
Well, it just means how the Europeans took over the indigenous people's land and just ruined the indigenous people not only physically but mentally.
So in the mural that we seen, there's these big letters that say Montezuma. Who exactly is that?
Well, Montezuma is the Aztec emperor.
The Aztec emperor?
Yes.
So would you say that I'm the Montezuma of late night television?
Yeah, I guess you
can agree to that?
Yeah, I guess you can say you're the Montezuma of the late night television for Latin America.
All right, one last question before you leave the audiences on the stage. Why do you think it was important for you to take that Latin American Studies class?
Well, for many years, growing up, I didn't know all of the history of Latin America. I always just, I didn't believe that people actually killed other people to get ahead, or people actually made people do other things to get by in life. But now that I took this class, it broadened my views of everything. Not only Latin America, but I look at other sides of other stories, not only just one side.
That's great. I'd like to thank you for coming on the show, Popeye.
Yeah.
See you next time. Good luck at school. You know, have fun.
Yes.
All right?
Thank
Have
you.
a good night. All right, we'll be back after commercial break. We'll have another special guest from the prestigious University of Cal State LA. So, see you in a bit. Don't go anywhere. Don't pick up the remote. Oh, that's horrible. Oh, how everybody doing? All right, welcome back to Late Night. My next guest is an honor roll student at California State University, Los Angeles. Everybody, let's give a big warm welcome to Arturo El Toro Castro, everybody. Come on. All right, so to my information, it says here you took Latin American Studies class?
Yes, I did.
Is that true? How was it? What is it that you took away from the class?
Since I chose the beginning, I went with an open mind. I didn't know what to expect out of it. But as weeks went by, I learned a lot about my culture. I'm Mexican. I mean, I did not know about my culture, but even my family's cultures. Until I actually went to the class, I learned what they went through, what they had to do to get to that point, and made the person who I am today is Mexican.
Right. So today you brought some film to show the audience.
Yes, I did. When I was in high school, I went to a high school called Theodore Roosevelt High School, and they painted a mural about pretty much our culture, and I filmed it, and I'm really great friends with Justine, so I came to show you guys the film.
All right, that's cool. So roll clip. Show people what these young.
Over hundreds of years, the Latin American people have been disrespected, taken advantage of, and plain mistreated. The stories and books cannot comprehend the pain that Latin America has been through, but the murals in Boyle Heights can.
What I took away from this image is that it's freaking huge. It's how
Yeah.
big is this?
I mean, it's cool. I mean, you seen the video. I mean,
Yeah,
you see how long it is.
Yeah,
It's a
about
lot.
it's about a block one side and a block the other.
Yep.
And what I noticed on one side was that it said Bartolomé de las Casas. Who exactly is that? It said it in
Pro de las Casas was el comendador. He gave recommended to the indigenous people for the people to work the land, but at the same time, his duty was to teach indigenous people the language and the religious views. So pretty much that's what he did. But after working with the people like on the land, he decided how bad the people were getting treated and how bad the conditions were. So what he did was he made laws in which the commanders were pretty much, I guess you could say canceled, and that's all I know right now.
Thanks for coming on the show, Art.
All right, thank you.
See you next time, all right?
Bye, guys.
Welcome back to Late Night with me. So my next guest, very, very hard man to reach. My people call his people call my people. Then my people had to call back again because his people didn't want to talk. But we're finally able to get him on the show. So let's give a big hand and a big round of applause for El Guerrero Azteca Jr., best known for his wrestling moves in the pulverizing pinball and the Águila Voladora de Oro. Let's go, everybody.
Cuyaca, 619, hey, Cuyaca, that's my pueblo, Cuyaca.
How we doing today?
Very good, very good. It feels good to be back home in Los Angeles, California.
That's what I'm talking about right there. All right, so let's start off this little thing with what's going on with the mask. Opposed to traditional wrestlers that wear no masks like Triple H, John Cena, The Rock. Why is it that you wear the mask?
This goes way back to the 70s, 60s. You know, lucha libre or wrestling happened to be a big part of the whole Latino environment and cultural. It's part of what we do. But more importantly, this mask symbolizes, as you can see here, the Aztec warrior.
Aztec Warrior.
So my name, as you know where it comes from,
Aztec Jr.
Guerrero Azteca Jr., which means warrior. So I want, through entertainment and through wrestling, I want to teach the people, more importantly, the younger generation, not forget where we come from, you know, to know the roots. Many times we know the history of our United States, but we don't know of how it all started, the whole, where we come from. I happen to come from Mexican descent, you know. So this, we need to know our culture. And just as like the earlier guest you had on,
Right.
El Popeye and El Toro Jr.,
Toro, right?
they discussed the mural, right?
Right.
And I happen to come from a nearby neighborhood. I happen to live right across the street from the mural.
Well, that's interesting.
So I always walked through and I seen it and I never really knew what it was about.
Right.
So one day I actually stopped by to read this mural and I seen what our ancestors lived through. So I happened to see how the Spanish came in to us modern day Mexico at a very important time, you know, and they killed babies,
Right.
you know, they did many tragic things and they imposed their new religion. And many times the younger generation doesn't know
What was going
the
on
truth
back
about
then?
all that. So through wrestling, through all that, I want to teach the younger generation what it means, you know. And other wrestlers, you know, that have Connect, Dr. Wagner Jr., you know, they want to keep the tradition of
Alive. They wanna
lucha
keep
libre.
the
They want to
tradition
teach
going.
their young generation through entertainment, of
Through
course.
entertainment, you'll be able to show the guests and show them what it is that it means to you. Is that where am I hitting that spot? Right,
Yeah,
that's what it's
you
right
see,
on?
we just want to teach, and that's what the sport does.
That's-
Through entertainment, we want to teach the younger generation about where we come from, the roots.
That's great. Well, for all you fans out there, you'll all be receiving a Guerrero Jr.
That's right. That's
Mask.
right.
You're going to be receiving one and a shirt that'll have the Aztec warrior painted on the back, and you guys will be able to wear it and show your pride. Now, is there anything else you want to say before we close off? Before we shoot off?
No, it's been great being the show. It feels good to be back in Los Angeles.
Thank
I'll
you.
be on tour all over. I'm joining the WWE, so you know.
You'll be seeing him.
you'll see.
All right, well, tune in next week when we got Justin Bieber in the building, we got Charlie Sheen, and we got a very famous band coming through. In case you haven't heard of Rage Against the Machine, you're gonna hear about it next week. All right, then. Thanks everybody. You have a good night. I'm Christian Robert, and this is Late Night in America. Good night, America. Good night.